Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got a pretty cool video for you guys. I'm going to be breaking in my brand new A2000 that I picked up in San Diego a couple weeks ago on vacation. Now this is my first A2000. It's my second Wilson in my entire collection because I'm not really much of a Wilson guy myself. Since this is a A2000, it's going to have a different shape than, you know, Rawlings and other gloves that I own. The patterns have a specific shape, so it's important to always try and follow the shape of your glove. Of course, at the end of the day, you can break in your glove however you want, but since this is a Wilson, I do want to break it in the way it was intended, if that makes sense. So before you get started on the break-in, you're going to need a couple things. Of course, a baseball, a mallet or a small weight, like 6, 7, or 8 pounds, and some glove conditioner. I like using Sarna because this stuff is phenomenal. It's water-based, so it's not going to weigh your glove down too much, and whatever is in excess will evaporate off your glove. Now, while I don't manufacture this stuff, I am an avid user of it. I've used it for about 2 years at this point on most of my gloves. And a big concern that I've heard is that it dries out your glove because it's water-based, because water dries out your glove. This condition is water-based, but it doesn't mean it's like super watery or it's just only water. Of course, it has things in it that will condition the leather and make it softer, provide the leather with nutrients, all that kind of stuff. I really don't think it would pose any problems. And if it did, I would have noticed by now since I've been using it for like 2 years. Lastly, if you're going to be breaking your glove on a really hard surface, like, you know, right now I'm doing it in my garage, you're going to need something to put on the ground to protect your glove. I'm using some cardboard. I'm probably just going to, you know, fold this to make it a little thicker, put it on the ground, and that's where I'm going to pound my glove on. So this is a before on the glove, just so you guys see how stiff it is before I get started on the break-in. This is my critique on it. I've always had this critique about Wilsons. They're not very hard and they're pretty easy to break in, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on what you like in a glove. I like gloves that are a little bit harder to break in because I feel like they'll last a little bit longer, but either way, this is still a really good glove. Don't get me wrong. And the leather is really good quality too, so it would last a long time. It's not super difficult to close. I can't close it all the way yet. I don't want to, at least, because I don't want to create any bubbles here in the palm. Going to be breaking this in to the pinky and probably going to give it like a thumb to ring close. I don't really want to close this thumb to pinky because it's not that big of a glove. Now, I don't know if I want to do finger out or in, but that's something I guess I'll figure out as I break in this glove. One of the first things we want to focus on when breaking in a glove, not just a Wilson, but every single glove, is you want to establish the breakpoints. It's usually with 2 hinges, so one here on the thumb side and another one here on the pinky side, so we're going to follow that method. Now, typically most other gloves are broken in that way too, like my Rawlings, for example, has a hinge on the thumb and a hinge on the pinky side, and it closes like that. So that's actually what I want to do with this glove too. Now, it does depend on the model, but for the most part, not just this Wilson, you want to have a 2-hinge break-in. So to establish our breakpoints, we're going to put a baseball in the pocket, close that up there. Make sure you bend it on the thumb hinge first, right there. Make sure that ball is nice and secure in that pocket so the glove won't collapse on itself and become a pancake too soon. Take your mallet or your weight and just pound at that breakpoint. It's almost like you're pounding the thumb loop here, the Wilson logo, and right here on the heel binding. Already you can see some hinging there on the thumb. Alrighty, let's even things out and do the same thing on the pinky side. So for this one, I don't think we need the baseball since we're going to be pounding a little bit farther away from the pocket, so let's just do it without the baseball for now. I'm going to take the pinky hinge, which is going to be around these 2 laces right here. Turn that in like that, and that's going to be our backside hinge. When you're breaking in your glove, you're going to notice some creasing and some bubbling happening in the palm. All you do is stop what you're doing and then go ahead and just beat those in with the mallet. See how that feels. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the difference. So already we're making such a big difference on the glove. As you can see, I can pretty much close the glove all the way. And, you know, this is what I meant earlier when I said that Wilsons are really easy to break in. I mean, I've literally only been working on this for 5 minutes, and I can already close it without really trying much compared to 5 minutes ago when I had just started the break-in. We're not done though. I want to make sure that this glove has a really good pocket, so we're going to keep working on the heel right here, and then we're going to work on the pocket. Alright, another really good method you could use for the heel is to do this while you're breaking in that heel with the mallets. So you start like this, close the glove like that on that side, and then you just kind of move the heel around so that you break in the whole thing. It's a little tricky to get the hang of, but it's very effective. Go back to the palm, get rid of any bubbles. Just like that. Oh boy. Look at that. Pretty much already closed it all the way. All right, last but not least, we're gonna work on the pocket and the shape of the actual glove itself. And for the pocket, the first thing I'm gonna do is take my mallet and do some rollovers. And a rollover is basically like you're simulating some catch. You hit the pocket and you roll over at the same time. It's kind of like this motion at the same time. And not only is that gonna give you a really good pocket, it's also gonna give you a really good hinge along the backside and the thumb side. This is an eye web, so it is gonna loosen up really well over time. So I don't wanna focus too much on the web here, if not just the pocket, which is gonna be at the base of the web right there. Finally, I'm going to shape the glove, flare the thumb out a little bit like this, and straighten out this pinky a little bit because a lot of Wilsons come with like that bent in pinky. Instead, I want to focus on getting that bowl shape with the 3 middle fingers and then try and straighten out this pinky right here. For glove shaping, it's pretty simple. You literally just use your hands to shape the glove the way you want it. So if you want to flare on the thumb side, you literally just take the thumb and instead of bending it at the corner here, you grab like more of the whole thing. You bend it down and out like this. All right, I think I'm gonna shoot the rest of this video outside of my garage because it's really hot in there, and as you can see, I'm actually drenched. Like, that's crazy, bro. So I thought I could show you guys better if I just stood up and showed you like this. You grab the whole thumb like this, bring it down, and bring it out a little bit towards like the outside of the glove. Because what that does, it creates more of a funnel shape, so any in-between balls that hit here will go straight into the pocket. You can keep this pinky bent in a little bit if you wanna get like more of a bowl shape on the outside of the glove, but what you never want to do is this. Take the pinky, bend it in, and take the thumb, bend it in. You don't do that. That's not going to give you a good pocket because realistically, where's the ball going to go? It's going to go straight in here? No, because sometimes you need to catch a ball like this. Sometimes you need to catch a ball more like snow cone on the tip of the glove. How's that going to happen if your glove is bent in like this? I know a lot of you watching that are born in the 80s and 90s would disagree, but I think nowadays what a lot of players like Nolan Arenado and others try to focus on is creating more of a funnel effect on the glove. So for the pinky side, I'm going to do the same thing. Pretty much just, instead of really flaring it out, I don't want to have like an extreme flare on the pinky. I would just want to keep it straight. Keep these 3 middle fingers rolled in like that. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and then I want to keep this a little bit more straight. So that, I think, is a much better form for this glove. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. Dude,
just freaking play catch with the glove. You break a glove by playing catch.
You're right. But nowadays, a lot of gloves are coming a little bit too stiff to do that right from the get. So you want to make sure you establish those breakpoints to get a more comfortable glove and a glove that's not going to crease up on you and ultimately not have a really good pocket that's going to catch the baseball and secure it. As you can see, the glove is catching pretty well and I'm not having to close it too hard. Very simple, very easy, very light. Before, I had to use 2 hands to catch pretty much everything with this glove. So if you guys watch my vlog, which if you haven't yet, you should definitely check out the San Diego vlog. You'll notice that when I do play catch with Jackson in that video, I have to use 2 hands for pretty much everything I catch because the glove was so stiff. But now, it's nice and soft. It's perfect. I'm not a Wilson guy, but I have to admit, these gloves are super comfortable. The only thing I don't really like about them is their lace can be kind of cruddy and they're a little bit too easy to break in, but if you like Wilson, to each their own, they're still fantastic gloves. Last but not least, guys, let's apply some conditioner. The leather on this glove is already really soft and smooth, so I don't think it needs that much conditioning, so I'm only going to use a little bit. I'm just going to put a little bit here on the palm, just like that. Just rub it in with my hands. Only really needs to be done once when you get a glove new, and then after that, maybe once or twice a year, depending on how the climate is. If you live in a dry climate like Arizona, probably want to condition your gloves like twice a year. If you live in a more humid climate like the Northeast, like I do, you probably only want to condition your gloves once a year. Probably my only complaint with Wilson, besides the fact that they're easy to break in, is the lace quality. It's pretty thin and can be pretty brittle. When I have done relaces for people in my community, most of the time they are Wilsons because their lace isn't all that great. But either way, still really good gloves. All right, guys, that pretty much does it for this video. I know the sound was getting a little bit cruddy at the end, but I still am trying to figure out my situation with like microphones and, you know, filming equipment and all that stuff. So if you like this video and want to support me, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. If you haven't yet, go check out the San Diego vlog where I show off this pickup for the first time. I really do think you guys would enjoy it, so definitely make sure to go check that out. Once again, guys, this has been a break-in video of my brand new A2000. Thanks so much for watching. That's crazy. Look at that damn sweat stain, bro. Holy crap.